Alright, here we go again, playing Wounded Waters Bleeding against Sweden once more. And we are going for the cross-healing build that starts with water and goes into animal. If it has a cool name, then I don't know of it, so I guess I'll keep referring to it as that. I guess it's Serene Ruin. Not the coolest of names, but it will have to do. It's not Serene Ruin, it's Serene Ruin. What am I even saying? I have to look something up here, and that is we've hit in Sweden, sometimes they place their initial starting city in the blighted land. So this is the land with the blight symbol printed on it. But this is the land with the actual blight, and I'll have to read up which... Okay, so first two in a land with blight. Wait, in a land with blight? Funny, that seems like I could choose to put that into here as well. Which, you know, seems like a bad idea, but I wasn't aware that I could do that. But okay, it's not about what's printed on the board, it's where the blight actually is. So I'm in 5 and it's 7 at the start. That works for me. So, well, yeah, Sweden was known to be a very swingy matchup. And I think we've gotten off to a good start here. We did not hit the worst explorer that we could have gotten. I'm probably trying to defend that. And with defend that I mean Boon of Corrupted Blood that. Although depending on cards we might even defend it, but I don't see any defend here, so... This card makes me sad, man. I'm thinking maybe go Uncanny Melting here. I expect to take 2 Blight there. And then maybe in the same turn Uncanny Melting, which basically makes this only a 1 Blight turn. It'll still add a town, but yeah. This is probably better. Uncanny Melting is not great in terms of elements and everything, but you know, Blight removal cards are cards I'm generally happy to play once and then never again, because that's kind of a permanent benefit. What they do, -1 Blight on the board, right? And we skip Creature Corruption. I'm happy about that. That can be really bad. So we don't build in land 3, we build in land 7. We don't build a beast. I would like to build beasts. Maybe later. And that's not wetlands again. I am happy about that. So with this healing build, I'm not sure how it's going to match up against Sweden. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be worse than roiling into ruins. Just because Sweden is actually quite susceptible to small ping damage, which is what roiling is really good at. And also I kind of resent that Sanguinary Taint is not going to do 3 damage. Oh well. So we're in turn 1 slow, and I think I set this to animal now. I ping that explorer for 1 fear and push that Dahan into here. So on these two, we are not currently vulnerable to the Sweden escalation, but of course that could change, right? If they explore, what is that? The mountain next, then, and I don't clear that out, then the turn after I'm vulnerable again. Alright, let's draft a miner. It's not sap the strength of multitudes, which is a shame. It's also not. I really want to get a game that shows off how amazing a card We Borders Lost is. I had a game recorded and everything for the England matchup, but I was like, you know, I made some small rule mistakes here and there, and I ended up not going with that recording. Instead, I played more England games until I got a recording where I didn't make any dumb rule mistakes. And yeah. So Guardian Serpents is defend 4. Defend 4 is enough against England. Sorry, against Sweden. So you could use that for land 6, but also land 6 is like, oh, why am I'm gonna take a blight here. Where am I gonna add that? That's kind of awkward here, everything. I guess it's fine to go into here. I'm gonna add a blight and then I'm gonna add a town. And the town, let me see what are my constraints on that? To an adjacent land without buildings. So I can use land 5, or land 1, or land 6. I guess land 5 is the least bad of these, but it could still be bad if we explore mountain, and that's a 50-50. I wanted to play Uncanny Melting here. I need to heal water anyway. I could just heal that again. That works, I suppose. I wouldn't hate healing that one, because I'm kind of not in any of these lands right now. I could also do something like this, but that seems worse. So I'll place in here just so I can draw the blight there. And then I'll heal it is what I'm doing, I guess. And I guess my next presence goes into land 7 or something. About these cards, I'm not seeing a good use for Guardian's Weapons here. Land 6, I might just not solve or solve with Draw to the Water's Edge. These other lands are way too large. And the empty lands, they won't need defend. I'll just clear them with my nades. Snipe the explorers. That kind of thing. So I don't really see it. Also, the beast doesn't do damage. And Inflame's pretty good. I'll not have any trouble hitting the threshold. So that's a disease and a strife. And the strife is really nice against Sweden. And I mean, it has good elements too. I want a second animal plus fire card anyway. So I've moved my presence, I've gathered a blight, I've played my card, and there's no quick to happen, so let's hope for not a terrible event. Urban development, 2 extra damage from cities. I'm okay with that, since I haven't even tried to prevent the double blight there. Add 1 disease. Disease doesn't prevent builds in this invader phase. Okay, okay. I think land 8 would not be bad, right? I really don't want a city there. So I could also do it in land 7, but land 7 cannot come up next. So here's something else. I could have it in land 5. But I'm not convinced of that either. The argument for land 5 is that I will have to place a town there. So it's kind of the same as land 8, but it's more accessible. It's easier to downgrade in there, so I'd rather protect land 8. And then 1 fear per land with invaders and Dahan, where I have more Dahan than invaders, and that is 1 for land 8 too. Alright, we ravage, and land 7 double blights. And this spawns 1 town, and the town goes in land 5. It's not at escalation risk yet, but it may well be at escalation risk due to that later. I would have loved to do it into land 4 maybe, but what can you do? Then they build in land 6, and it's mountain, and it had to be a bad one. No matter which of these, they're basically symmetrical, right? So we got a bad explorer, as was kind of obvious. Uncanny Melting. I don't have invaders there, is the only downside, I suppose. If I could do it on there, but I don't have the range, so I'll have to do it in land 1 and don't get the fear. And then I have Swellens by level 1. And that is kind of hard here. I wouldn't hate pushing the Dahan out of there, but I don't reach. I could push these 2 Dahan into land 5. I could inflame the Fires of Life. I wouldn't spawn a town by blighting there. If I just let land 6 blight, all adjacent lands already have towns or buildings, and I don't spawn towns and lands with buildings. So I'm thinking maybe I just let that through and focus on land 2 and land 5 instead. Don't get these cities built. Or strive them afterwards. I need to hit Water though. I need to heal Serene. I cannot prevent a build with my Explorer movement. So I'm thinking I'm gonna move the Han. And I'm gonna move them to where I'm gonna need them next. I'm not sure if I can move them into here. I don't have any defend. I guess next turn I'll play draw to the water's edge. I think I push these to Han. And I hope that land is solvable. And I also hope I don't lose the Han and lands with disease. But if I do, perhaps I do it there. I've drafted a card that requires a sacred site, so I'm probably gonna forget Uncanny Matching. There's some good cards. Okay, that happened. Gonna forget Uncanny Matching. Serene goes here. And then between these, Bird's Cry Warning, pretty good, honestly. Quick, the hand movement is always valuable, and it has Sun. In this board position, I really don't need Explorer movement, and I think for the rest of the game I won't need Explorer movement either. Isolate is not all that important here, since there's no adjacency. I guess it could be used to prevent explorers. Actually, there's one downside that I had not considered. And that is, if I explore mountain next, I'll be really unhappy. I've seen new information, so I can no longer undo that, sadly. I mean, in theory, I could Bird's Cry Warning from here into there or the other way around. But the issue is that then I would be playing something like this, and then I would go into Roiling Waters. And while that might be actually objectively better, I'm committed to not do that, so I wreck. I guess that means we hope that we don't hit mountain, and that's that. I place in here. I wanted to place in there, but I don't think it's gonna happen now. Get that platform. That means I have no options of acting in there in slow. But I don't think I need to. I mostly want to act in these two. Alright, I need to set this to water. And then Serene is up and running. I don't have anything in fast. Life balance tilts. I mean, it could be good. Sometimes that is good. I do have damage. So I could flip the blight card this turn. I don't think I want that. Let me see. I could discard a card. I would hate that. I've played White Wise. Yeah. I've played 5 energy so far. 1. Then, like, the card that I forgot was another 1 energy card. 3, 4, and I've gained 1 energy. So that is sadly correct, and I don't have 2 energy to pay for Fortify the Resilience. I have to think on that. But it would give me a 1 Blight Swing. It would cost me a disease. So am I going top then? That is the going top is dangerous. But if I survive, I'm in a good spot. The thing is, it tends to... Let me think on that though. No, I think that is probably good here. I could snipe towns with 1 damage. I guess I only do 1 damage in my entire slow, so reducing invader health is not that attractive this turn. It would be more attractive next turn where I'll do more damage. The still is probably gonna kill a town that otherwise would have stayed unkilled. But if I have to add a blight, then I go Blighted Island, and Well, I expect to take no blight from there. Except if I draw a mountain. If I draw a mountain, then that's extremely bad news. But on the other hand, losing one of these cards to discard is also extremely bad news. I think we have to go top. I think I would pay for the energy if I could afford it, but I don't have the energy, so I'm going top. I'm removing this. I'm adding a disease that actually counts this turn, huh? Maybe we add it here. That would not be bad. And then maybe that makes it even easier. So the disease added and the invader health reduction make it easier not to take blight next turn. That's how I'm justifying that. And it is slow, so I don't add blight. But in the world in which we go for the bottom option, we would have healed the blight. Still, it means we're staying healthy. And that was, I think, a good outcome for us. And then the bottom 1000 small struggles does not apply to us since we have more than 4 Dahan. We don't have a fear card. We blight in land 6, but since all adjacent lands already have buildings, we don't add any towns. And then we don't build in either of these lands, and now we just want to see Knot Mountain. And we do see Knot Mountain. Yeah, I think now I'm supposed to win this game, and if I lose it still, that would be bad play. Like, you need some measure of not bad luck against... I think if you get even luck, you win against Sweden. So basically, the way you lose is you get bad luck, and then it can get very hard. We did not see bad luck. We had good luck on average, so... I think I should keep that there as a reminder that invaders in Dahan have less health this slow. Oh, I'm not hitting that. Yeah, huh. I'm so used to if I play that card on 2 plays, of course I'm hitting that. But I needed to heal water here, so I needed to set my element to water, so I don't hit that. Huh, okay. Still that works for me. I'm using Sanguinary Taint on land 5. 1 fear. Snipe that, which, you know, it only has 1 health. And that's a downgrade right there. And then we... Actually, let's do it the other way around. And then I inflame it. 1 fear and I strife it. I was thinking I was going to push the town and the explorer out with wreck. But I mean, make use of that strife instead, huh? So these 2 lands seem solved, and I still have open 1 use of Silence Spell and 1 use of Wreck with Pain and Grief. I cannot reach land 6, which is pretty unfortunate. But I knew that was gonna happen when I placed the presence in there. It turned out I didn't need the presence in there. Wait, is that even allowed? It might just get converted, huh? Oh, I could just move that here with Silence Spell. Yeah, I like that. So with Silence Spell, I push that into here and that into here maybe. Since we've already seen the Sands Explorer, this can no longer get escalated. So basically that ensures us here that blast damage events don't cascade us, and here we plan to build. So the only thing left is Wreck with Pain and Grief, and I can target it out of these 2 lands. So I'm thinking I'm doing it here, right? 2 fear, and then I move a town and an explorer, huh? I could just push the town into here and the explorer gets downgraded. Ideally I would have downgraded the building, but I'm kind of... I'd feel better if I don't have any 1 explorer attacks in my lands. That's just a level of risk I think I don't need to take. Alright, I think that was that. So turn 3. Since we've only drafted 1 cast, I have to take 3 energy here. It's also pretty nice that I can get more. I think that is what I want. Basically, I get to add a presence and move a presence. I have 6 on the board, which is correct since I forgot 1 card for instead of sacrificing a presence, and I use the growth option 3, which lets me re-add another destroyed presence. So that seems good. And then from here, where am I going? I'm thinking I'm pushing these out of here and downgrade that town, right? Oh, I could also... I guess I'm just gonna play the cards and then we'll see. So I have two things that I can do in quick. Push the Han and gather a town. Yeah, I think I want these out of here. They can only get escalated there. And currently I'm escalation immune. I would like to keep it that way. I only had one turn in which I could get escalated. It would have been bad if we hit mountain, but we got lucky and that is good. I could also push them into here, but then they can get escalated again, so let's not. I think I'm doing that, and then I'm using... Actually, am I? Yeah. And then I'm going to draw this into here. That seems good. And that is my quick. And then that is gone for now. Rising interest in the island. Return the top card of the invader deck to the box. I wouldn't hate it. Each board add a town to land without one. I wouldn't hate that either. Wouldn't love it, but it would be fine. I don't have 500. I could forget Bird's Cry Warning and would pay for that. What would I get for that? Return the top fear card to the box would be okay. Building stacks to damage. It costs me though. It costs me an innate use and slow. I don't think that's worth it. So I'll just add that town and return that invader card. I think we'll be fine. Add the town to land 3, I'm thinking. Could also add it, no, cannot add it to land 2 unless this is also the hunt event. And it's not. Add 1 beast to jungle without blight, 1 fear if invaders are present. Sure, funny, adding it there added the fear for the next fear card. And then I gain wilds. And since this is the only land that can come up, and it's actually guaranteed to come up. I guess it's no longer guaranteed to come up, but unless these two cards are exactly coastland mountain, then this land will come up. So that's that. First fear card is defend, which I don't need. And second one is remove explorers from lands with disease or beast, or at least Tutahan. I did not bank on that. It's pretty unlikely that Tutahan get rid of an explorer proactively like that, but of course it's amazing when it happens. We ravage and they die. We don't build at all, which is, you know, almost feel bad for playing a game where luck's in our favor so much. I think the last one was pretty lucky already, the England game. But in my defense, both of them are actually not easy games, so I guess a bit of luck is appreciated. And then we escalate, but there's no escalation. Now we're in slow. I would like to get rid of these two lands. I'll probably start with Svalanspur on here. Yeah, let's do that. So we Svalanspur both of these into here, we downgrade that into a town. Then we use Sanguinary Taint level 2. We set that to animal, now it's level 2. For 1 fear, which I've already added, and kill that town. And push that to Han. I wish I could downgrade with that, but I can't. I'm not sure, I guess I'm pushing it back. I really want to prevent an escalation. And the only safe lands are Jungles and Sands. And then I'm going to Bloodwater and Bloodlust, perhaps here. So they don't build a city, because cities are annoying. And that was my slow. I should also consider that I have They don't really have good board state is pretty good. I'm not even 100% sure what I do here with my innate that I get online right now. I guess it's at least good fear, right? So let's get a miner. Yeah, these are pretty bad. I take Entrap, I suppose, because it has one element that that I care about. Energy seems pretty low. I think I didn't take my plus energy yet for the growth option. Alright, then Wreck would do good things here. For example, it would solve that, or that. Then I don't need full strength on my knights this turn, so maybe I just don't. I don't even need sun here, huh? Oh, that already... Oh, although if I play that, I hit my knight at full strength. And then next turn I could reclaim either Inflame again. I don't have the Sacred Site, so maybe we don't play that. Is there any card that is like good on the board right now? I mean, if I play these two cards together, then I can run that build here, I suppose, and play Wreck. And it's pretty good. It doesn't hit the highest level of WWB Ruin, but honestly, I'm just not in position for that. I can't kill that city because it has neither my presence nor an explorer. Yeah, that is one thing. WWB Ruin just gets noticeably worse if you're not on roiling waters, because that 1 point of damage actually matters. Anyway, we would have Corrupted Blood that Explorer, and then we Burst Cry Warning. I mean, that's like 2 energy to clear 2 Explorers that would have probably died to the beast anyway, but you know. Game's just going that good that I don't mind that much. And then I still have Water Sister Ruin, which I suppose I'll use on land 8. I guess I will. Just start pocketing here. So push that into here to fear. And then push the town into land 6 and downgrade it. And then that is now a little bit risky, but I'm okay with risking that. Let's event. Cultural assimilation. I don't have any cities on my board. I do have cities on my board. There's just not in land 2, it's in land 4. And there's no vulnerable land around that city though. The only single Dahan I have here is land 1. So yeah, I guess that is Sweden for you. Sweden makes you bunch up your Dahan and then you're less vulnerable to cultural isom, I suppose. I guess. Beast attack. So basically these two die to beasts. And that beast in here would have killed the explorers, by the way, if I hadn't moved it out. Okay, sure. And then reckless offensive. Choose a land with at least 2 Dahan and at least 2 buildings. I don't have that land. Seek safety. This is rarely useful, but this game I like it. Push that into here. Now, no matter what we explore, we can do 3 damage there with Water Sister Ruin next turn, because we now have an explorer in land 4. So there's nothing for the Ravage, there's nothing for the build. And there is an Explorer, and the Explorer's Mountain. Basically just that one. And then we're in slow. And let me think on this for a second. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I can't win in this slow, I think. But it's okay. I will just Wreck with Pain and Grief into here. Push these two into here. And in that process, kill that Explorer. And then I use... what is it called? Sanguinary Change to kill that town. Oh, I fucked up, did I not? Yeah, so let's just undo that real quick. That is -3 fear. And these are here. That's what happens. So let's do that again. I need those in there, I noticed. So let's just, I guess there was an explorer in there. Let's wreck with Pin and Grief into land 5. And then let's Sanguinary Taint into land 2. And yeah. Then I can win this turn. I place a presence in here. I take 3 energy because why not? I flip. Oh. I should not do that. I play this card, I play this card, I play this card. And I set my element to animal, and now we can clean this up. We pull that into here. 2 fear. We do the town does damage to the city. The explorer does damage to the city. This is important, and this is the reason I couldn't like pull them out. They kill the city. Push them both into here. Downgrade the town to an explorer and win the game. I was looking for a second if I could win the game on 0 invaders on the board. But yeah, man, this is the duality of Sweden. Either it's really easy or it's really hard. And this game, it was really easy. I will say we did make some good choices, I think. That helped with that. I think it was correct to let land 6 go. I think it was correct to heal that blight in here on turn 2. And the rest of the game was just kind of... I'm not sure about having the Dahan in there. That was really a lot of risk on one bad explorer. I think if that happens, I probably have to let one of the lands go and I can probably save the other. Bad things could have also happened if I had drawn, where's that event? Not Rising Interest. Life Balance Tills if I had drawn a fast card there. Because I would have then flipped the Healthy Island card, and if the other side of that is like built in 4 lands or something, then maybe the game would have been harder too. But yeah. I guess this is another game in the spree where Serene Waters and Water-Resistive Ruin just are lucky, I suppose, in which games we see. I will say it didn't feel as good. I felt like I would have been better playing Roiling here. But maybe we'll talk about which healing path is how strong in another video. For this, game was good. GG.